Alexa, what's the temperature outside?
Right now, it's 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, expect a high of 104 degrees.
Yeah. Hello, vinyl community. It's going to be a scorcher today here in Southern California. And, yeah, this is a video I've been meaning to make for a while. I've procured two good-sized stacks of music-related, well, mostly music-related books. Um, yeah, so so let's get down to it. But first, I definitely need a drink. Just nice cold water. Anyway, all right, this first one is interesting. Um, they've been sitting around for a little while. I said I've been trying to make this video for a while. This first one's interesting. It's not strictly about music, but I think it's going to interest us all. So this is The Revenge of Analog: Real Things and Why They Matter by David Sachs. Yeah, so this should be very, very interesting. I think this is one. I think this is one I bought when we were on vacation at a library book sale in Fallbrook, California. Yeah, so this should be interesting, right? I think this one is from that book sale also. I could be wrong. Yeah, it is. Blues All Around Me, the autobiography of B.B. King. Very cool. Yeah. All right. Now this one, also from that library sale. This one, I kind of laughed, and I was almost ashamed to show it to the wife. Collecting: An Unruly Passion, Psychological Perspectives by Werner Munsterberger. Yeah, I think most of us have this problem. So, so that should be an interesting read. Just learning about like what goes on in the mind, like why we have this need to collect. This one has been sitting around even longer, and I don't even remember where I got it. It could have been Savers. But Paul McCartney, The Life by Philip Norman. Now, this one I'm very curious about. You may or may not know, I'm a big fan of opera. And of course, Pavarotti is like the name in opera. Like everybody, even people that have never listened to opera in their life, have probably heard the name Pavarotti. Probably. Yeah, so The King and I, by Herbert Breslin and Anne Midget. The uncensored tale of Luciano Pavarotti's rise to fame by his manager, friend, and sometime adversary. Now, I hope it's not just one of those books that's trying to like hype up something that there's really nothing to hype up, but I don't know. I suspect he was an interesting character. Oh, let's save that one. Okay. This one's interesting. So, Always Magic in the Air. The Bump and Brilliance of the Brill Building Era. So, more about an era of music. And this one, as you can see by the price sticker, was from Savers. So some of the artists on here are Jerry Lieber, Mike Stoller, Neil Sedaka, Howard Greenfield, Carole King, Jerry Goffin, Doc Pomus, Mart Schumann, Jeff Berry, Ellie Greenwich, Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil, Burt Bacharach, and Hal David. So, you know, it's kind of that era of music. But I like the idea of that, of talking about like an era of music and like how it came to be and what happened. And kind of along those same lines, Dick Clark and Richard Robinson, Rock, Roll, and Remember. It says, America's oldest living teenager brings back those happy days. That should be some, you know, fairly light reading, I think. Oh, this one. Oh, yes, yes. So, this one is Good Rockin' Tonight. Colin Escott with Martin Hawkins. Sun Records and the Birth of Rock and Roll. That's very interesting. Yeah. I'll just read the back real quick. Memphis, Tennessee, the early 1950s. The Mississippi rolls by, and there's a train in the night. Down on Beale Street, there's hard-edge blues. On the outskirts of town, they're pickin' hillbilly boogie. At Sam Phillips' Sun Record Studio on Union Avenue, there's something different going on. Shake it, baby, shake it. Go, cat, go. We're gonna rock. This is where rock and roll was born, the record company that launched rockers from Elvis to Jerry Lee Lewis to Johnny Cash, that cut classic hits from Mystery Train to Great Balls of Fire to Blue Suede Shoes. Filled with hundreds of rare and unpublished photos, this is the book that tells the whole Sun Records story. Now that sounds interesting, right? So hundreds of photos. That's most of the photos are pretty small, but yeah. Anyway, that should be interesting. All right. Now we have The Unmaking of Elvis Presley, Careless Love, by Peter Guralnick, author of Last Train to Memphis. Oh, yes. I was at most of these came from Savers in one fell swoop. It was like I actually had to put some back because I was like I'm getting too many books here. Yeah, so I put a few back, but here we have What a Wonderful World, a lifetime of recordings. Bob Thiel, as told to Bob Golden, with a foreword by Steve Allen. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Yes. The Beatles, Day by Day, 1962 to 1989, a chronology. Very cool. And don't get me wrong, I love the Beatles, but I'm not like a huge Beatles fan. But nevertheless, this should be interesting. But yes, I do love the Beatles. I don't want to get myself in trouble here. Rough Mix, Jimmy Bowen and Jim Jerome. An unapologetic look at the music business and how it got that way. A lifetime in the world of rock, pop, and country, as told by one of the industry's most powerful players. Not sure where that was probably Savers also. Yeah, I think it was actually. Oh yeah, it has the sticker. Here we have Miss Odell by Chris Odell with Catherine Ketchum. My Hard Days and Long Nights with the Beatles, the Stones, Bob Dylan, Eric Clapton, and the Women They Loved. Yeah. Save that one. Yeah, this one I'm pretty pleased about. I do love my soul music and Motown. So here we have Motown by J. Randy Taraborelli. Hot Wax, City Cool, and Solid Gold. This one's almost like a textbook. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Now we're down to the last two. Now, this first one, I know I had it at some point, and I may still have it, but I'm just not sure where it is. So I did not hesitate in picking up another copy of Riders on the Storm, written by John Densmore, drummer of The Doors. My Life with Jim Morrison and The Doors. Very good book. Highly recommend it. Yeah. And this one I was very excited about because I've never read this one. I've never even seen a copy of it, actually. And this is one of the few Doors books I haven't read. Because, they're the best band in the world, of course. Strange Days, My Life with and Without Jim Morrison by Patricia Keneally. Now, she was, if I am remembering correctly, she was the lover or the mistress, as opposed to Pam, who was his actual girlfriend. Yeah. So this should be interesting. And I am pleased to pick it up. Very pleased. Anyway. Whew. There you go. A lot of books, huh? Woo. Alright. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.